The neutral wire in an alternating current, or AC, power system serves a critical function in completing the circuit and providing a return path for current to the source. To understand its role, we need to first review some basic concepts of AC power distribution. In a typical AC power system, power is generated at a power plant and transmitted to homes and businesses through a network of transmission and distribution lines. These lines typically carry high voltages to minimize losses during transmission. Near the point of use, transformers step down the voltage to lower levels suitable for powering appliances and equipment. In North America, common voltages are 120 volts and 240 volts for residential applications, and 208 volts, 277 volts, and 480 volts for commercial and industrial applications. A typical single-phase 120 volts/240 volts system commonly found in residences consists of two energized conductors called hot wires or lines, and a neutral wire. The two hot wires are 180 degrees out of phase with each other. The voltage between either hot wire and the neutral is 120 volts, while the voltage between the two hot wires is 240 volts. Appliances requiring 120 volts are connected between one hot wire and the neutral, while appliances requiring 240 volts, such as electric ovens or clothes dryers, are connected between the two hot wires. The neutral wire is typically grounded at the service entrance, which is the point where power enters the building. Grounding means connecting the neutral wire to the earth, which provides a low impedance path for fault currents to flow back to the source. This grounding is essential for safety, as it helps to prevent electrical shock hazards. The neutral wire carries current only when there is an imbalance in the loads connected to the hot wires. In a perfectly balanced system, the current flowing through each hot wire would be equal, and the neutral wire would carry no current. However, in reality, loads are rarely perfectly balanced, so the neutral wire typically carries some current. For example, imagine a home with two 120-volt circuits, each connected to a different hot wire. If one circuit is powering a 10 amps load and the other circuit is powering a 5 amps load, the neutral wire will carry 5 amps, which is the difference between the two currents. Without a neutral wire, the circuit would not be complete, and the appliances would not be able to operate. The neutral wire provides a return path for the current to flow back to the source, allowing the circuit to function. In addition to providing a return path for current, the neutral wire also helps to maintain voltage stability. When current flows through a conductor, there is a voltage drop along the conductor due to its resistance. This voltage drop can cause the voltage at the load to be lower than the source voltage. The neutral wire helps to minimize this voltage drop by providing a lower impedance path for current to flow back to the source. This ensures that the voltage at the load remains relatively stable, even when the load current varies. It is important to distinguish between the neutral wire and the ground wire, although they are both connected to the earth. The neutral wire carries current under normal operating conditions, while the ground wire only carries current during a fault condition. The ground wire is a safety conductor that provides a path for fault currents to flow back to the source in the event of a short circuit or ground fault. This helps to trip the circuit breaker or fuse, disconnecting the power and preventing electrical shock hazards. The ground wire is typically connected to the metal enclosures of appliances and equipment, providing a path for fault currents to flow back to the source if the enclosure becomes energized. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, specifies the requirements for grounding and bonding electrical systems to ensure safety. Bonding refers to the practice of connecting all metal parts of an electrical system together to create a low impedance path for fault currents. This helps to ensure that all metal parts are at the same potential, minimizing the risk of electrical shock. The NEC requires that the neutral wire be grounded at the service entrance and at the transformer serving the building. This grounding provides a low impedance path for fault currents to flow back to the source, helping to protect people and property from electrical hazards. The size of the neutral wire is also important. The NEC specifies the minimum size of the neutral wire based on the size of the hot wires. In general, the neutral wire must be large enough to carry the maximum unbalanced load that is likely to occur. In some cases, the NEC allows the neutral wire to be smaller than the hot wires, but only if certain conditions are met. For example, if the load is primarily nonlinear, such as electronic equipment, the neutral wire may need to be larger than the hot wires to carry the harmonic currents produced by these loads. Harmonic currents are currents that are multiples of the fundamental frequency of the AC power system, which is typically 60 Hz in North America. These currents can cause overheating of the neutral wire and other problems if they are not properly addressed. In three-phase power systems, the neutral wire plays a similar role in completing the circuit and providing a return path for current. A typical three-phase system consists of three hot wires that are 120 degrees out of phase with each other and a neutral wire. The voltage between any two hot wires is typically 208 volts or 480 volts, depending on the system. The voltage between any hot wire and the neutral is typically 120 volts or 277 volts, respectively. In a balanced three-phase system, the current flowing through each hot wire is equal, and the neutral wire carries no current. However, in reality, loads are rarely perfectly balanced, so the neutral wire typically carries some current. The NEC specifies the requirements for grounding and bonding three-phase power systems to ensure safety. The neutral wire must be grounded at the service entrance and at the transformer serving the building. This grounding provides a low impedance path for fault currents to flow back to the source, helping to protect people and property from electrical hazards. One important consideration in three-phase systems is the potential for circulating currents in the neutral wire. Circulating currents could occur if the neutral wire is grounded at multiple points, creating a parallel path for current to flow. These currents can cause overheating of the neutral wire and other problems. To prevent circulating currents, the NEC generally requires that the neutral wire be grounded at only one point, typically at the service entrance. In summary, the neutral wire is an essential component of AC power systems. It provides a return path for current, helps to maintain voltage stability, and provides a path for fault currents to flow back to the source in the event of a short circuit or ground fault. Proper grounding and bonding of the neutral wire are essential for safety and are required by the NEC. The size of the neutral wire must be adequate to carry the maximum unbalanced load that is likely to occur, and in some cases, it may need to be larger than the hot wires to carry harmonic currents. In three-phase systems, the neutral wire plays a similar role, but care must be taken to prevent circulating currents by grounding the neutral wire at only one point. Understanding the role of the neutral wire is essential for anyone working with electrical systems, whether you are a homeowner, electrician, or engineer. By following the NEC and other safety guidelines, you can help to ensure that electrical systems are safe and reliable. Always consult a qualified electrician for any electrical work. Working with electricity can be dangerous, and it is important to take precautions to protect yourself and others from electrical hazards. Before working on any electrical circuit, always turn off the power at the circuit breaker or fuse box. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off before touching any wires. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses. Never work on electrical circuits in wet or damp conditions. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to do the work for you. Remember, safety is always the top priority when working with electricity. Proper grounding and bonding are key to electrical safety. Grounding provides a path for fault current to return to the source, tripping a breaker or fuse to clear the fault. Bonding ensures all metallic parts are at the same potential, reducing shock hazards. The neutral, while grounded, is not just a safety conductor, it carries current under normal operation. Always refer to the latest edition of the National Electrical Code, or NEC, for specific requirements and guidelines on grounding, bonding, and neutral conductors. Code requirements are continuously updated to reflect new technologies and best practices for electrical safety. Proper sizing of the neutral conductor is critical. Undersizing can lead to overheating and potentially fire hazards. Oversizing adds unnecessary cost. Load calculations should accurately reflect the anticipated neutral current. Nonlinear loads, such as electronic devices, can produce harmonic currents that significantly increase the neutral current. In these situations, the neutral conductor must be sized accordingly to accommodate the increased current. Voltage drop is another important consideration. Excessive voltage drop can cause equipment to malfunction or operate inefficiently. A properly sized neutral conductor can help minimize voltage drop. Three-phase systems require careful attention to neutral grounding. Multiple neutral-to-earth connections can create circulating currents. The NEC typically requires a single-point ground for the neutral. Ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, and arc fault circuit interrupters, or SIs, are essential safety devices. GFCIs protect against ground faults, while SIs protect against arc faults. These devices can help prevent electrical shocks and fires. Regular inspection and maintenance of electrical systems are crucial. Look for signs of damage, such as frayed wires, loose connections, and corroded terminals. Repair any problems immediately. Electrical safety training is essential for anyone working with electrical systems. Training provides the knowledge and skills necessary to work safely and effectively. Keep your electrical knowledge up to date by attending continuing education courses and reading industry publications. Stay informed about the latest code changes and best practices. The neutral conductor plays a vital role in the operation and safety of AC electrical systems. Understanding its function and proper installation techniques is essential for all electrical professionals.